Yeah, I'm still in the coaching business, still busy coaching. I'm currently at Joburg City. They're playing in the Hollywood Bets competition, but that league is done now. So yeah, I'm still looking for the next opportunity. But yeah, I'm still coaching and keeping myself active within the football fraternity, because yeah, that's a space I love and forever be football. I came on board in February because the coach that they had, he left them. He joined another team. Um, they were struggling at the moment at that time. They were sitting on number 15 on the log, and I took it as a challenge, just to see where I'm at. It was difficult at first, but obviously once you get going, getting used to the players, getting used to the environment, we started gelling. Yeah, I want to say we did well. We finished number 7 from where we were number 15. So yeah, um, it was good. But for me, obviously, I have that winning mentality in me. So whatever project I take in, I want to win. But yeah, it was good and it was a good experience for me as well, just to see where I am. Yeah, obviously there's just challenges. Obviously we don't have the networks here and there, but at the same time I dedicated myself to do the qualifications before scout going out there and looking for to be in the professional setup. I did my CAF B license last year. Um, so yeah, this is challenging, but at the moment I'm still looking. I'm sure one will come up. But yeah, there's just challenges, but hopefully it comes soon. Yeah, I would say it was okay. Uh, because knowing Sundowns, they want to win. If we don't win the trophy, it means nothing. You know, just winning the Betway Premiership and not bringing in the big fish, which is the Champions League. There's a bit of disappointment, and other domestic cups, which they also didn't clinch. There's a bit of disappointment because just a season back, they won the Premiership and one domestic cup, I think. They missed out on the Champions League, and it wasn't good enough. They wanted the Champions League, and which I understand. And personally, I also felt that this was the year, and I think like they should have got it this year, but unfortunately, they didn't, and to them, it's another rebuilding phase, and especially going to the Club World Cup now. Um, for me, it's about the experience there at the Club World Cup, and also to try new things, and also when you try these new things, also to learn from those clubs in Europe and see what's happening out there. So it's going to be a learning experience for them, but it's what they can bring back to the country and also to the Premiership
Yeah.
and take it into the Champions League. Yeah, I think the feeling should have been just of disappointment. Um, you know, again, so close but yet so far again. I'm sure everybody just wanted to get to their rooms and just trying to forget about it. A feeling, and being away from home, it also makes it a bit bad because you're in your hotel room after a defeat like this, no one to talk to, like love close ones, your family, you know. Um, but I think the staff that they have, the technical team, would have probably had words of encouragement, because it's not where it ends for them. The season doesn't end there, they're probably gonna take a few days off and back in training to head off to the States for the Club World Cup. But yeah, that's a life of being in this sundown space. You know, you're done with the one, then you need to hop onto the other one. So it's how they need to brush off this disappointment, but at the same time reflect and see what was the mistakes, and not just brush it off and say, okay, we try next year again. It's how you're gonna get there next year. What do we need to do better next year? Because you must understand those Al Alis, Widats, even Pyramids, they're not going to rest on their laurels. They're going to beef up their squads. They're going to prepare better, stronger. So it's also up to Sundowns as well, to do the same, to prepare stronger, be mentally prepared, physically, um, the squad as well, where they need to strengthen, So it's going to be a very exciting season next year again, and I'm sure they've learned, and yeah, they're taking it on the chin and try to correct where they did their wrongs. Honestly, I don't think so, because next year will be a decade since we've won the Champions League, and I think it's not enough just to win the Premiership. I think they need to stamp the authority of winning the Champions League year in, year out. So I think they Sundowns is in that space, where they want to dominate Africa, and I think, honestly speaking, it's not enough. They themselves know that they need Champions League. With Champions League comes Club World Cup, and I think the players know, technical team know that it's not enough, and they need to do better. No, I think the coach done well. Everybody will criticize and say this and that, but at the end of the day, um, he's with the players on training. He's with them every day on camp at the hotel. He gets to communicate with them. So whatever he decides, it goes. So for me, I think he's done well to take the team to the Champions League final. So I think there's still room for improvement, and I'm sure he's still willing to show also that he wants to go with Sana to the next level, and the next level is winning the Champions League, lifting the Champions League, because obviously it's disappointing for him as well, second year runner up. So he knows where he needs to improve, and I think he's the guy to help them win the Champions League. Yeah, obviously, Temba is a star player for Sundowns, but like many other players, there's many other star players within the Sundowns team. We have Avero, Alendes, you have Moquenas. There's a lot of star players there. So for me, it doesn't matter who he plays. The people are supposed to do the business, and we have been talking a different story. If the players that came on scored, or if we haven't conceded, then it would be a different story. It's just with a negative result, people's always going to talk. But I respect the decision of the coach, because he knows best. He knows what player can give him what, and and he felt that he needed to bring on the two big guys, with Sales and Motiba, and he felt that way. And to be honest, there was a few chances that fell to them, but yeah, it's part of football. You have a second to make that decision. Sometimes the coach will say, okay, I'll bring this one instead of that one. So yeah, I respect his decision as a coach, and what he feels was right, and we must just respect and move on. I think now it's best you learn from it first. You need to accept. I accept, okay, we did this, and this is the mistakes we have, and then we learn from it, because I think that's the most important. If you're not going to go back and learn from it, it's going to come haunt you again. So I think with the technical stuff that they have, with the players that's still there, Dennis Kennedy is still there, Mshishi is still there. I'm sure they will be telling guys, okay, guys, we need to push on. We're going to Club World Cup now. Let's try and go to the next round. That's another objective for them. And we learn from the Champions League, but come next year again, this we will know where we can fix. So I think there's players that's experienced enough, international players. Ronwen is there, Fana players is there. You know, so I think there's enough senior players within the team to lift the players up, and I'm sure that they'll get over it, because, like I said, there's another hurdle coming up, which is the Club World Cup. Yeah, it's always tricky, because people say, "Oh, you're playing against Dortmund and all this," but it's football. It can surprise you. You'll find yourself um, maybe just going through. You don't know how you got through. Because they're going there with no pressure. There's no pressure on them, I don't think, to win the tournament. I think for them, just to do well, just to enjoy themselves, and also to learn. And I'm sure that's what the coach will probably, this message will be to them, guys. Let's go out there and enjoy and express your talents, and the rest is up to the players. And for me, once you go there, you just need to learn what's happening in Europe, how they're doing things, and by expressing yourself, the next thing you see, you find yourselves through to the next round, you know. And that's the approach they must take, not put too much pressure on themselves because, they've just lost the Champions League and now you want to put more pressure on winning, Just enjoy the tournament and things will take care of itself. I think it is important, yeah, so that they can also say, hey guys, we are up there, So it is important for them also just to have that sense of we're going in there also to do well, but also not to put much pressure on ourselves. So when you do well, things start coming out, confidence starts coming out, you're doing things with more ease, the team is gelling well, everything is just clicking, and that happens with confidence and when you're playing well. And when the team is doing well, the results will come. So I think that's the approach they should take because, like I said, we found ourselves in that situation as 2016 where we went in there with no pressure, nothing to we just went in to play and enjoy, and we found ourselves in the final and winning the Champions League. So I think that's the approach I should take. Just go out there and enjoy what you've been doing all the years.